I had never felt anything like it before, and now I know I'll never forget it. At 70, the first time another person's caring hands rested on my bare shoulder after my husband passed away was like a quiet storm waking up inside me, stirring emotions I'd buried deep. That single touch, warm and steady, cracked open a door I thought was sealed forever. Before I share the rest of this tender moment, take a second to like and subscribe. It means more than, helping stories like this reach hearts that need them. And if this feels like it could be yours, I hope you'll join me for every quiet revelation. Tell me in the comments, where are you listening from? A peaceful small town where evenings hush the world, or a bustling city that hums through the night? It didn't happen in some lavish restaurant or on a grand adventure. No, it unfolded on a calm Tuesday afternoon in my own living room in Maple Ridge, Nebraska. The soft glow of a little lamp I'd snagged on clearance bathed everything in gold, while outside the wind rustled dry leaves along the sidewalk. Life here moved slow. People aged gracefully, attended church on Sundays, mourned their losses, and chatted about the weather or rising milk prices. I thought I was just like them, a quiet widow whose story had already reached its end, waiting patiently for the final curtain. Then Lucas walked through my front door, carrying his black therapy bag and a folded treatment table. For the first time in years, my heart skipped, forgetting it was supposed to be weary and still. I'd called the clinic on Pine Street because of that nagging ache in my right shoulder, the kind that starts subtle but weaves into your everyday and restless night. The doctor examined me, ordered an X-ray, and offered her kind smile reserved for patients like me. "A touch of arthritis, some tendon strain," she said. "Nothing major." She prescribed meds and handed over a pamphlet featuring a man with calm eyes and reassuring hands. Lucas Reed. Certified rehabilitation therapist. He looked too young in that photo to grasp the deeper hurts. Life carves into you the empty chair at dinner, the untouched side of the closet. But my shoulder throbbed, and evenings stretched too long alone, so I booked a home visit. Driving after dark had lost its appeal since Thomas passed 7 years ago in that store parking lot. The ambulance lights piercing the night brighter than any dawn, that Tuesday. I fluffed the sofa cushions unnecessarily, wiped a spotless counter, and let my gaze linger on our old wedding photo. Thomas in his gray suit, me in that soft blue dress, both beaming as if love could defy time. "I'm not replacing you," I whispered. "This is just for the pain." The doorbell chimed, and my stomach fluttered. Nerves, I told myself. A stranger would see me in faded sweatpants and a loose shirt. I opened the door. He was taller than expected, his light brown hair neatly swept, eyes warm like fresh brewed coffee. For a split second, surprise flickered across his face, as if he'd pictured someone frailer. Then he smiled, professional yet kind. "Mrs. Ellis, I'm Lucas. Thank you for welcoming me." His voice was steady. Like a gentle anchor, I stepped aside, suddenly conscious of the lavender scent lingering and the hallway clock's soft tick. As he set up his table, he asked about the ache, how long, what worsened it, what helped. I mentioned lifting dishes, reaching high shelves, but skipped the nights I avoided lying on that side because it echoed hurts beyond bones. He noted everything on his tablet, glancing up often, truly listening, making me feel valued, not rushed. "All right, Eleanor," he said softly, using my name with natural ease. "If you're comfortable, we'll start with gentle movements and light pressure on your shoulder and neck. I'll explain every step, and if anything feels off, you tell me." "You're in charge here." Those words, "you're in charge," hit like a long-lost gift. After Thomas, life had seized control, leaving me adrift. "All right," I replied. "I trust you." And in that moment, I lay on the table, staring at the old ceiling fan my mother had given decades ago. A faint eucalyptus aroma filled the air. Outside, a dog barked once, then quieted. He draped a towel modestly across me, exposing only my shoulder. His movements were respectful, deliberate. "I'm going to lift your arm gently to check the joint's range," he explained. "Tell me what you feel." His touch was warm, purely human, not romantic, but caring in a way that startled me. No one had touched me like that in years. As he guided my arm in a slow arc, My shoulder hesitated as always. But then a wave crashed over me, tightness in my throat, relief tangled with old sorrow. He eased his pressure. Too much? No, I said, blinking back tears. I just haven't felt anything like this in so long. He nodded with understanding. We'll go slow. No need to rush. He meant the therapy. But my heart heard a deeper promise. Lying there under that warm light, something inside me stirred, a part I thought buried with Thomas. My pulse quickened, not from pain but from remembering I was still alive, still capable of feeling. 2 days later he returned. I convinced myself I was just relieved, my shoulder eased. Therapy worked, after all. But, truthfully, I'd replayed his knock, checked my reflection more than usual. You're being foolish, I murmured.
He's just kind at his job.
Afternoon, Eleanor, he greeted with that warm half-smile. While setting up, he shared about his mother in Lincoln the Sunday drives, her famous pot roast. His stories filled the room like sunlight, echoing how Thomas once did. We repeated the exercises. His voice calm, touch professional yet attentive. I noticed everything, the table's faint creak, his even breathing, the steady warmth of his hands guiding me. Breathe through it, he said softly. For the first time in ages, breathing felt alive, electric. Later, he demonstrated a solo stretch. Standing behind me, his hands rested lightly on my shoulders. You're doing wonderfully, he murmured. That praise sank deep. I'm trying, I whispered. I know, he replied. And it felt like he saw beyond the movement to the woman rediscovering herself. Before leaving, he handed me a small potted fern. For your kitchen window, he said. Plants heal too. You're spoiling your clients, I teased lightly. Only the special ones, he answered, his eyes meeting mine a beat longer. That simple exchange unlocked something tender, leaving me wondering what might unfold next. 2 weeks on, he visited twice weekly. We talked about his father, gone 12 years, and Thomas, how grief lingers in unexpected ways. Sometimes his hand brushed my wrist or steadied my jaw during a stretch. Each time, a quiet spark ignited, not desire, but a reminder I was still touchable, still whole. I both dreaded and craved it. One day, humming while washing dishes, a sound absent for years, I realized I was changing. He arrived at 3, looking weary, shadows under his eyes. Rough week, he admitted. Mom's health has ups and downs. I offered tea. This time, he stayed. We sat at the mismatched mugs on the kitchen table. He shared doctor's waiting room fears. Reaching for his cup, his fingers brushed mine. Neither withdrew immediately. Then he said words that lingered. Grief doesn't vanish, Eleanor. It reshapes you. And sometimes, you meet someone who makes it lighter just by being near. Our eyes locked. The room hushed. I stood abruptly, feigning a tea refill. Did I overstep? He asked gently. No, I whispered. Part of me wished he had. It would simplify ignoring the pull, but the air had shifted. What unspoken words might pass between us next? And could I trust myself to keep boundaries when my heart whispered otherwise?